how to keep your horse from eating with 5-minute horse lessons. We're going to use TJ here as our example horse. And here we are in a sea of green. And we'll just talk about the cues that you'll use to keep your horse from eating. You can see that he really wants to eat. And there are a couple of rules that you need to follow to keep your horse from eating. Number 1 is don't use 2 hands in order to keep his head from going down. He's just too strong and he will just pull the reins out of your hand. So if I try to hold on with 2 hands and he's fiddling around, he's going to be able to pull me out of the saddle, or he's going to learn that he can just take those reins away from me. So as he tries to put his head down, I want to talk to 1 rein at a time. And it's much easier to alternate as you do it. So right here I'm going to use my right rein. See if I can't get him to steer a little bit as well. So I'm going to bring him back around. So again, I want to be able to give him a nice loose rein as I'm standing here. I don't want to pull hard with 2 hands to keep his head from going down. I don't want to dally my reins in any way. I want to be able to stand here and have a relatively loose rein and just tell him with 1 rein at a time, don't put your head down. Now as he's lifting up his leg here, he's frustrated, he can't eat. You can ask him to do things like back up, give him something to do rather than let him just stand there and be frustrated. Again, 1 hand at a time. I'm going to ask him to walk forward. Good boy. Come to a halt. And remember, I don't want to have a tight rein. So there that leg is up again. I might say, I'm going to back you up, back you up, back up. Thank you. 1 hand at a time, 1 hand at a time. And now I'm going to go ahead and give him a cue, which is to go ahead and eat. I'm going to loosen my rein, pet him right on his neck, and not give him a hard time for eating. I'm going to let him have a few bites of grass. And then when I want to bring his head up, because often people don't realize that their horses are going to eat until the horse is in this position right here, the way that I'm going to get him to bring his head up will be the same as you will use when your horse just decides they're going to eat. What I'm going to do is slide down my right rein here, put a little slack in it, and then I'm going to just bump, 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 3, 4 times, however many it takes. When he brings his head up, now it's my job to keep his head up. So again, I'm going to say with 1 hand at a time, don't put your head down. So nice loose rein. I'm just going to stand and wait for him to make this mistake, and then I'll tell him to bring his head up again. He's got a nice mouthful of grass right there. Here we go. Oh, please don't eat. Please don't eat. And I'm going to alternate. As I pull my right rein, his head is going to go to the right, and then I want to alternate and pull my left rein, and that will straighten his head out. There again, he lifted his leg, and I'm just going to give him a little something to do. Back up, now go forward. Can you go forward a little bit for me, buddy? And I'm just going to sit with a nice loose rein and only talk to him when he needs to be talked to. So again, the leg is up. He's very frustrated because he can't eat. So I'm going to ask him to move forward a little bit. Ask him to come to a halt. Please put your head up. Please put your head up. And so my communication with my reins becomes quieter as time goes on. And again, he's going to move that front leg around, so I'm just going to ask him to back up a step or 2, give him something to do with it. Walk forward. Good boy. He just needs to know that there's a time to eat and a time to just stand with your head up. Oh, opposite leg this time. Very exciting. Back up. Now walk forward. Come to a halt. Give him a loose rein. Ask him not to put his head down. Don't put your head down. Don't put your head down. Now, another technique I know that people will use is that when their horse's head goes down to eat, they'll smack their horse on the rump like so. But you need to be careful about that one, because often that is a cue to jump forward, and sometimes very quickly. So if you're going to use that particular technique, just make sure that your horse can deal with small taps first, and you wouldn't want to haul off and give him a big old smack. So again, I'm going to go ahead and pet him and say, look, I'm going to let you eat for a moment. And if you want to use a tap on the bum, thank you. Now that his head is up, again, I'm going to say, don't put it back down. You have enough grass there to last 5 more minutes. So to recap, it's okay to let your horse eat. You can give them the cue for eating, which is just give them a nice loose rein, pet them on the neck. When your horse's head is up already, use one rein at a time. Use your left rein, use your right rein. Do not dally. Do not try to hold your horse up with 2 hands tight. Just talk to your horse one hand at a time. Good boy.